G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Marine / Sniper. So it's going to be a chop suey or a mixed vegetable of a figure. So you throw in a female action figure with accessories that were from male G.I. Joe Classified Series counterparts. So we're not going to mention anymore the individual components since this figure has been out for quite some time. So other reviewers has already covered the review. So in this video, we're going to talk about the things that you could possibly do with whatever this action figure set comes with. So since I have the Jody Shooter Craig action figure, it was high time to upgrade parts on this character. So outgoing head, incoming head. So the one that came with the 60th anniversary action marine. Okay, so that head unit. Okay, so this matches the ghillie suit, the head unit, because this doesn't have the stripes to mask the outline of the face. Okay, so this is now how the action figure looks. So what did we do with the ghillie suit that came with the action marine? Well, to be able to use this, there's no other way but to really cut it from the seam. So stitch out, and then I secured this section. So I threaded this section, and with the rest of the item, the front, because this is a two-sided item which covers the front and the back. If you don't cut pieces out like this, then you won't be able to drape it well on the action figure just by releasing these two sides. So you still have to cut out portions. So you're going to enjoy some of the details on the action figure, plus you could drape it as you wish. So in my case, so first what we did to this head unit was to cut off the extra part of the head wrapping. Because that is just way too 1980s John Rambo like. So modern versions of hair ties or hair accessories for female don't have extra stuff hanging around. So especially for military girls. So it's just going to be streamlined. Plus, if you have that excess material, you won't be able to drape this thing over the head of the action figure well, because you're going to contend with that extra plastic piece which is going to poke on the back that way. So cut it out and paint that portion green or black. Okay, so that is how now this action figure looks. So this action figure is geared up for success. So just a recap of the gear set of this action figure: knife, pistol, ammunition belt, and chest rig, and 2 or 3 day survival pack, and of course cover. Okay, so since this action figure did not have any head cover, so I made use of this. Plus, if I'm not going to cut out portions, then it's just going to stay in my accessories bin. So what's the use of buying this action figure set if I'm not being able to use this thing or play with it with an action figure, right? Okay, so with the cutout version, you only have this portion, that very small piece of a packet that's going to rest on top of the head nicely. Okay, so actually it's just going to be a head piece or head mount. Okay, that way. So as you turn the head, the rest of the material is going to follow. So you just have to rearrange. Okay, so we have parts that goes over on the front, so you could easily put that in there. You also have parts that goes to the front, and you could just put it in there. And as you cut away, of course, material is going to fall off, but it's okay. Once the portions where you made that cut, the material has already fallen off, it's going to not shed any more material actually. Okay, so you're good to go. So that way, you have a Jody Shooter Craig action figure that has a ghillie suit. So matches the bolt action rifle that I gave her with the covering or the wrapping. Okay, so that's the update with the Action Marine accessory. So what did I do with my 60th anniversary Action Marine figure? Okay, so we used the other head unit, one with the bunny cap, and we just cut a piece of cloth, the olive drab cloth, my favorite piece that I used to always accessorize my action figures, and just made rough cuts. So actually it's just a makeshift poncho with a hole in the middle, and you drape it over the head, and you make a center cut, a side cut, a back cut, and with whatever cuts that you wish. Make it rough as possible so it would look organic. So not like this material when it came out of box, that it really looked like it came from a sewing machine. Now with the rough cuts that I made, so it looks very organic. So that's the purpose of concealment anyway. Use organic materials so you would conceal the outline of your body. So the use of the ghillie suit is to reduce the outline of the head and the shoulder, so it's just going to be a rounded item. So the silhouette, human silhouette, is expelled. So the same thing actually happens with this kind of setup, wherein you would use the bunny hat and a drape or cover over your body. So as light shines, it forms a shadow, eliminating the human silhouette of the head and the very visible line of the shoulders. Okay, so you have to just understand how to camouflage yourself. So that's what I received from basic training anyway. So very simple material. So let's put the drapes to the side. So that's the head unit that I used, and I just modified the rifle. So it had a extended barrel, and then you have the muzzle brake, wherein you attach by peg the suppressor. So what I did was to chop off that barrel, made a hole with an X-Acto knife, and then just glued this suppressor directly to the rest of the foreguard or the barrel. So eliminating excess length, which is very unsightly on this action figure. A female figure with a super long weapon. The aesthetic is just not a match. So yep, so that's what I did. Okay, so with the scope, instead of having the widest part on the front, I just reversed it, because I also use a long range scope with a very big eye box, or that is used for eye relief. so you won't be staring at a very narrow tube. So you'd be staring at a bigger tube like this. So you could stand looking at long distances for a longer time if you have a good wide eye box for good eye relief. Okay, so that's it. So very nice and simple. And instead of using the backpack and the gun case, what the hell, you're not going to, if you're going on a mission, you're not going to disassemble your weapon and put it in the gun case, and then when a opportunity calls, you have to assemble your weapon and the scope is unattached, and every time that you detach the scope of the weapon, it's going to lose its zero. So that's the reason why when you are engaged into the long distance shooting sports, once you set up the zero of your rifle at 100 yards, that scope stays there forever and ever, and you don't take it off unless you want to service it, or you need to change your barrel to another one. That's it. So I'm not using that rifle case, which it really can't make sense of itself. It can't be a soft case and a hard case in one. It is a soft case on the outside, but when you open it, it's a hard case in the inside, and the components is on different shelving, which if you're into the shooting sports, you know that is unrealistic. Okay, now with the backpack that it comes with, the green backpack, it's a very weighty piece. So I already tried it on the back of the action figure, and every time that the figure is going, I am going to try to display it. So just a test case, I would just prop it in this revolving table and wait and give it some time and see whether the figure is going to topple backward or not. And every time that the backpack is on the action figure, it's just too weighty, so it's going to topple backwards. So I found a backpack that matches the action figure, so just right, enough weight on the back, so she would have essential items on her for missions, and at the same time this figure is going to be displayable. Okay, plus I don't have to contend with very excess materials. If I want details exposed on this action figure, I could just do this and even drape it over the bag, so I could really appreciate the details on the action figure. And if I want coverage or concealment, I would just do this. There you go. And the other thing that I did was to paint the face, because that's just way too shiny a face. So if you're peering through a long range scope at 200, 100, 300 yards, and you have a very nice glass on top of your weapon system, profiles like this are easy to spot at a distance, because a human face is going to be very, very visible. So it's going to always pop out from whatever concealment that you have. So to break that outline, at least green stripes. That's I think that is enough just for an action figure. Of course, if you're going to put a heavy paint on this, black or brown would be the second option. Actually a mix of black, brown, and greens, or depends on the environment that you're going to operate on. So if it's mostly green, then just paint your face with two different tones of green, olive and dark green. So study the foliage around you, and that's the paint that you're going to use from your face paint kit. That's it. So very simple Kitbash. Instead of using all of the materials, just use the ones that would bring out the best aesthetic out of your action figure builds. So I appreciate that they placed a Kestrel weather meter on this action figure. So you guys would just understand or appreciate how much a weather meter would cost. So at Midway USA, so actually these are the cheapest weather meters because that is actually when first time I took a look at that, I immediately knew that is a Kestrel because I have this 5700. So that's the thing that I could afford. Above 500, woo, wow, just for sports shooting, a 899 or 749. Way too much. At least this 5700 would tell you the speed of the wind, the direction it goes, and the temperature, and match it with a nice range finder. So that's it. You're good to go on the shooting range. So that is the playtime that I had with these two action figures. So I was able to update my Jody Shooter Craig and at the same time build another sniper action figure. So this is going to be my female sniper team. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel and help me guys to reach 5,000 before year end. So we're already at the almost 5,000 subscriber mark. So if you've not yet subscribed but you've been following this channel, then it's time to click that subscribe button. So thank you. So once again, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.